Welcome everyone to Podcast 69 South, where we cuss and discuss true crime, cold cases, current events, and hot topics, along with our state of society today. This is your trigger warning. Our podcast content is produced for adult listeners 18 years of age and older. We discuss situations that may be offensive and triggering to some listeners. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to 69 South. This is your host, Chop, and always with me is my beautiful co-host, Julie. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Just here to keep you in line.
I hope everybody has had a good time since the last time. We got another crazy, shitty kind of case for you guys, man, but people are screaming to hear it. And we do want to say that we do have a lot of other stories that we're working on. We're trying to get away from a lot of this child molestation stuff, man. I mean, I know we just want to keep people informed, man, because these people are right here in this community and right here in the neighborhood. So, I mean, we're just letting you know what kind of monsters you got to look out for, man. These are literally people that are normal, nice people that are hiding in plain sight. So we're going to get right into this one, the summary of the PCA.
So, on or about the dates and months of December 2024, January through March of 2025, specifically December 16th, 2024, January 25th, 2025, and March 5th, 2025, Christopher M. Cooley knowingly and intentionally committed a criminal offense. Christopher Cooley knowingly and intentionally possessed with the intent to view imagery that depicted sexual conduct by a child less than 12 years of age, committing possession of child pornography, a level 5 felony. Christopher M. Cooley knowingly and intentionally disseminated and offered to disseminate matter that depicted a child less than 12 years of age engaging in sexual conduct, committing child exploitation, a level 4 felony.
Now, on January 23rd, 2025, Detective Kevin Frank of the Bloomington Police Department began to investigate an internal complaint. He is currently affiliated with the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force, better known as ICAC, and being in this capacity, he often investigates crimes against children to include child molest, child abuse, child neglect, child exploitation, and the possession of child pornography. He received this complaint from the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children, otherwise known as NCMEC. This complaint was identified as NCMEC Report Number 204071376. This complaint was received by NCMEC on December 28, 2024 at 6:02 Standard Time. The primary incident type of this complaint was identified as child pornography, possession, manufacturing, and distribution. The incident time was identified as December 16, 2024 at 11:08.
The submitter of this complaint to NCMEC was identified as the social media platform of Kik Messenger. Kik Messenger, commonly called Kik, is a freeware instant messaging mobile app from the Canadian company Kik Interactive, available on iOS and Android operating systems. This application uses a smartphone's internet connection to transmit and receive messages, photos, videos, sketches, mobile web pages, and other content after users register a username. As part of the complaint, Kik had been able to identify the user's account which possessed the child pornography. Kik provided information regarding this account. The screen username on the account was identified as K Lake Love with the ESP user ID of K Lake Love _Q01. The associated email on the Kik account was identified as
RunELifeGunner88 at Gmail. Kik also provided the IP address used to log into this Kik account, along with the dates and times which are identified. And it has the logins, and it has the ports, the UTCs, and the times that they were logged in. Now, here goes another platform that I've never heard of, Kik. Have you ever heard of Kik?
Yeah, I've heard of it, but I've not known much about it. You just see it in social media apps in the App Store when you go to download it. Like if you're searching for Instagram or Facebook or a social media app, it'll pop up.
So it's a Canadian-based
messaging app.
Well, obviously they're doing their job, because that's where the complaint came from.
Well, good.
Good Canadians for doing that.
Now, through the use of maxmind.com, the detective was able to determine the IP address identified and was currently being serviced by Verizon Wireless. The IP address identified is currently being serviced by AT&T Internet. Kik also provided NCMEC with several files that were located within this user's account being identified as child pornography. And then there's a list of like 6 file names with IP addresses and the login information and all the things of that nature.
Also noted in the complaint regarding these files, Kik identified that the user of this account shared files, videos, and private chat messages to other users. During this investigation, the detective was able to view the files that Kik had provided NCMEC. These files depicted adult men having sexual intercourse with infant children. The adult men are shown getting off onto the infant's genital areas. I know that's disgusting, and believe me, I dummied that down a little bit. The files depicted young female children, through my training and experience, to be under ages of 10 years old, providing a type of oral sex to adult men. Disgusting. The file shows young female child being forced to provide that type of sex to an adult male, showing that the child is clearly in distress. So that means that there's videos of these poor little girls being forced to do these sexual acts on grown men. This is the type of shit that this Cooley kid had on his phone. I say kid, but he's a kid to me. He's a grown-ass man.
Now, through this investigation, it was shown that the Kik user identified as K-Lake Love with the ESP user ID of K-Lake Love _Q01 with the associated email address of RunELifeGunner88 knowingly and intentionally possessed and distributed imagery of child pornography. This complaint also showed that the IP address identified were used to access this Kik account and view the child pornography. To further this criminal investigation, I requested search warrants to be issued to the entities of Kik, Google, Verizon, and AT&T Internet to obtain subscriber information, location information, and account data.
During this investigation and observing the NCMEC complaint, the IP address identified as the numbers identified in the port 4150 was used on December 22nd, 2024 at 1815 to log into the Kik account which possessed and distributed the child pornography. I received the search warrants the results back from the Verizon regarding this IP address. The individual was identified by police, but as of this point has been found not to be in, part of the child pornography parts of it. So we're not going to mention his name at this point in time.
We'll be right back.
Hey everybody, this is Chop from 69 South, man. While we're taking a little break, get up, get yourself something to drink, grab yourself a plate of food. But hey, look up shopcitadjules.com, man. Pick up one of our badass 69 South t-shirts. A portion of the proceeds goes to victims, and it helps support our show. help keep the lights on here in the studio. We thank you all so much for listening. Everybody, just take it easy and enjoy life. That's what it's all about.
Now, the associated phone number was identified and it was listed as a home phone number. They were also able to verify through an open source search that the phone number was identified with 100% certainty as being associated with Chris's family. So they received the search warrant results back from Verizon regarding the IP address identified in the NCMEC complaint. They provided Verizon provided the date and time listed for the IP address of when the user logged into the account which possessed the child pornography. The name identified was the name of the family member with the same address. The phone number associated with that account was identified as someone else, which they redacted. The phone number through an open source search showed that Christopher M. Cooley was associated with these numbers again. So they further received results from Verizon from the search warrant data regarding the IP address identified in the NCMEC complaint. They had Verizon provide them with the date and time listed of the IP address when the user logged in and then to the same account that possessed that child pornography. The phone number through an open source search showed that this was associated with Christopher Cooley again.
Also, during this investigation, the detective received the search warrants results back from Google. This was specifically for the email address identified, and they redacted it, which had been identified in the NCMEC complaint. The subscriber for the account was identified as Chris Cooley. The date of birth listed on the account was, we're not going to give his birth date, but he was born in 1991. It was also verified as Christopher's actual birth date. The phone number for the account was also stated as a redacted phone number. This phone number had already been determined to be associated with Christopher Cooley.
I received the search warrant results back from Kik for the user account identified as K Lake Love. This account had been identified by Kik and provided to NCMEC regarding the possession of child pornography. Upon reviewing the results, I located images, videos of child pornography. These images were also identified in the original complaint. The images show adult male subjects having intercourse with infant children, along with a toddler child being forced to provide other sex acts to adult male subjects while appearing in distress. There was no sign of any serious literary, artistic, political, or scientific value to the images, clearly violating IC 4244. Now, also located within the account were communication records from the suspect user to other Kik's accounts. This suspect user is shown sending these communications. So we're going to read, it's a list of 6 messages that were sent from Chris Cooley's account to other people's account.
These are kind of disgusting. These are messages that are sent.
Really disgusting.
Yeah. 18th month old anal is good as a video. Daddy using her whether she likes it or not. Full version, she gets a cream pie in her bottom. That's what I'd be doing to you at 1 year old, just like her if you were my daughter. You said, send what I got. If I can get any, that a go or not, I can get more, but it takes time to find. Sorry, the wording's a little bit messed up on the PCA. 1 second, I am sending a 7-year-old. At least that's what it says.
Now, identified in these communication records with these specific chats, the user used a certain IP address to make these communications. Also, this IP address and port were identified in the NCMEC complaint as being used to possess the images of child pornography. On February 27, 2025, The Bloomington Police Department began investigating an internet complaint. They are currently affiliated with the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. They received the complaint from the NCMEC. This complaint was identified. Now, it was received on January 27th. The primary incident type was noted as child pornography, possession, manufacture, and distribution. The incident time was noted as January 25th, 2025. The submitter of the complaint to NCMEC was identified as the social media platform of Snapchat. So, not only did this Kick social media platform send in a report that there was child pornography, now Snapchat also sent in another report on a different day to the same NCMEC organization.
Now, Snapchat, if you don't know, is an American multimedia instant messaging app and service developed by Snap Inc. Originally Snapchat Inc. One of the principal features of the multimedia Snapchat is that pictures and messages are usually available only for a short time before they become inaccessible to their recipients. So, and I've seen this in the past. I've never really been on it, but I've caught kids using it. They send a picture of whatever, and it disappears. You know, for those of you who don't, it disappears in 30 seconds or a minute or something.
Like right after you see it,
right?
Or something.
But obviously, watch what you're doing on Snapchat, because thank God Snapchat reported this. The app has evolved from originally focusing on person-to-person photo sharing to presently features of stories of 24 hours of chronological content along with Discover, letting brands show ad-supported short-form content. It also allows users to store photos in a password-protected area called My Eyes Only. As a part of the complaint, Snapchat provided NCMEC with some identifiers regarding the Snapchat account which possessed the child pornography. The screen username was identified as K179938, with the associated email address as the Run Life Gunner 88. The IP address associated with the accusing the specific account on January 25th, 2025 was also identified as, and it gives the IP number, through the use of maxmind.com. The detective was able to determine that this is the IP address is currently being serviced by Verizon Wireless. He was also familiar with the email address identified as the Run Life Gunner 88, as it is identified in a current investigation regarding the possession of child pornography with this case. This made the complaint and on additional complaint from NCMEC regarding the same suspect. As part of the complaint, Snapchat provided NCMEC with uploaded file information from this Snapchat account, which was identified, and then it has more files of child pornography, probably disgusting shit that he was sending through not only this Kick platform, but Snapchat as well.
Now, during this investigation of the Snapchat platform, the detective was able to view the file. The file depicts an adult male subject holding a naked infant on his lap. The male's genitalia is exposed, which the video then shows the adult male having anal intercourse with this infant child as the child is heard crying. Now, regarding this case, the detective received the search warrant results back from Snapchat. This was for Snapchat screen username of K179938. The account also had the associated email address, and it is redacted, who had been identified as Christopher Cooley. Upon reviewing the media for this account, imagery of child porn was located. This included infant children being forced to have sexual intercourse with adult men while the child is appearing in extreme distress. The detectives also located imagery of child pornography, which depicted a young female under the age of 18 years old, showing no signs of development for being older. Now, this individual was forced to have sexual intercourse with an adult male subject, while the child is bound by the legs with duct tape. I also located a picture in this account of an adult female with what appears to be her younger daughter. Through open search sources, they were able to determine this female's identity, and they believed this to be a family member of Christopher Cooley. Now, regarding the picture of the infant child being forced to have sexual intercourse, it was dated January 25th, 2025. Now, the little girl in this picture was further identified as minor victim 1. Upon observing multiple communication records on Snapchat between Chris Cooley and other users, he often states that he has had sexual intercourse with a family member and identifies her by name. He talks about things that he has done to her along with being very descriptive. He also mentions and speaks of not only sexual intercourse, such as conducting anal sex on the child, but mentions that he used diapers for masturbation purposes.
Now, see, folks, this story gets a little bit weird here because it kind of, the PCA suggests that this, the female depicted in the video with the child is a relative of Chris Cooley. I mean, it says that. We're not going to say her name because we have researched her name and we couldn't find literally anything on her name. But it also says that the child depicted is the girl, the woman in the picture. It's depicted as her daughter. And it's also saying that Chris Cooley is talking about having sex, forcible sex, and this type of sex and diapers. So that makes me think that it makes me think a lot of shit, really. It makes me think that he's maybe forcing this baby to have sex. But when you look up his charges, as of right now, it doesn't have any like rape charges or molestation charges. It just has the disgusting shit that he had on his phone so far. But I mean, we really kind of look to see more coming from this because regarding the PCA, like I said, it is kind of unclear, and it kind of mentions stuff that is very suggestive without coming right out and saying some stuff. Now, regarding this investigation, a search warrant had been obtained for the individual identified as Christopher Cooley, his vehicle, and his residence on March 5th, 2025. Detectives with the Bloomington Police Department, while being assisted with the Morgan County Sheriff's Department, were able to execute this search warrant. Upon arriving to the residence in Moorseville, Indiana, Christopher Cooley was located inside of his 2008 Ford Mustang in the driveway area.
Christopher was removed from the vehicle at this time and detained for the investigation. I then went to the front door and made contact with Christopher's father. I explained the investigation itself and advised him of the search warrant for the residence. Other detectives and officers then cleared the residence and no one else was located inside the home. At this time, detectives then began taking pictures of inside of the home and executing the search warrant. Detectives and officers were able to locate Christopher Cooley's bedroom inside of the home, which was verified by his father as well. Upon executing the search warrant, items seized inside of Christopher Cooley's bedroom included flash drives, SD card, a laptop computer, a gaming system, and a tablet. The seized items were later logged into evidence, and a property sheet was completed for the case. A copy of the search warrant was also provided to the owner of the residence. While officers were executing the search warrant, I was able to interview Christopher Cooley. I advised him of his Miranda rights prior to speaking with him. Upon explaining the investigation to Christopher regarding his internet activity, obtaining search warrants for his social media accounts and other data, Christopher Cooley fully admitted to possessing and distributing imagery of child pornography. Christopher talked to me in detail about how he struggled for several years of watching pornography, which led him to watching child pornography. Christopher admitted that he had sought out professional help in the past, but later went back to watching it. I talked with Christopher about his social media accounts, his screen usernames, and his email accounts that I had obtained regarding the possession of child pornography, which he admitted to being his. Christopher also fully admitted to distributing child pornography across internet and other social media and to other social media users, but stated that he has never profited from it, alluding that he was trading pictures and videos instead. Christopher also admitted to possessing and using the Snapchat account regarding this case and possessing the child pornography. He admitted to fully engaging in communications with another Snapchat account user regarding the molestation of this family member. Christopher admitted to distributing child pornography in these communications as well. Christopher also denied ever molesting this family member and stating that he never sees them anyway, and it was fantasy talk as he is addicted to incest pornography as well.
That's kind of funny, though, if he had the pictures of this family member, you know what I mean?
In that account where he's distributing all this stuff.
And obviously, if that family member was marked victim 1, then there's some bullshit that we don't know yet about this.
Yeah. Because I wonder why it says victim 1. But also, there's no contact orders in this case.
There is no contact orders.
Yes.
Through the course of speaking with Christopher, he was advised of his PERTO warning. Can you explain to us what a PERTO warning is? Because I've never actually heard of that in a PCA or in law talk.
Now, a PERTO warning is a legal advisement specific to the state of Indiana, stemming from the 1975 Indiana Supreme Court case PERTO versus State. It applies when a person in police custody is asked to consent to a search of their property, such as a home, vehicle, or other premises. The warning informs the individual that they have the right to consult with an attorney before deciding whether to give consent to the search, and that they can refuse the search altogether unless police obtain a search warrant.
We'll be right back.
Hey everybody, this is Chaw from 69 South. Are you ready to elevate your space with aromas that'll set the pace? Scented Jewels, Indiana's pride, with aromas you can't hide. The classic wax melts, oh so fine, then squeezable melts, the scent so divine. Dazzle your senses and level up your vibe. Scented Jewels bring an aroma to your life. We use this in our studio and our home as we have teenage boys and pets. It makes our place smell so fine. Use promo code 69South for 10% off today. Shop Scented Jewels, luxury in every way. Head on over to Shop Scented Jewels. That is www.shopscentedjewels.com and get 10% off your order today. Thank you. Well, that's pretty interesting because I had never heard of that PERTO warning. Anyway, it must have been a Supreme case where the person's name was PERTO and they won a case. So they advised him of it, and he went ahead and provided the detective with the passcode to his cell phone, which was located inside his vehicle with him inside it on the front passenger seat. The passcode was identified as blah, 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 and Christopher admitted that child pornography would be on his cell phone as well. Upon obtaining the cell phone, the detective located imagery of child pornography on his phone, including naked images of females under the age of 18 years old, along with a specific image of adult males forcibly having anal sex intercourse with infant children, again, clearly violating IC 35-42-4-4. Also, this specific image was the same file located within Christopher's Snapchat account, which resulted in the NCMEC complaint as well. The child appeared to be under the age of 1 year old, people. The data of this image on the phone was dated 3/5/2025 at approximately 11:33 a.m., again identifying Christopher knowingly and intentionally possessed child pornography on today's date with the intent to view it. Christopher talked extensively about being addicted to the child pornography and how it has complicated his life. At the conclusion of the interview, Christopher Cooley was transported to the Morgan County Jail by Morgan County deputies of the charges of child exploitation, level 4 felony, and possession of child pornography, a level 5 felony.
Wow, that's crazy.
Did they update his charges? Read his updated charges. I think they added some with special circumstances because of the age of some of these
aggravating
circumstances. Yeah.
His updated charges are child exploitation on December 1st of 2024, and then there are 3 level 5 possession of child pornography with aggravating factors found. And those dates are the 16th of December 2024, January 25th, 2025, and March 5th of 2025. Those are his updated charges. Now, excuse me, I got to speak with somebody who knew Chris very, very well. And this is what they had to say about him, that he was a quiet, sweet guy, very shy, and was raised in Moorseville. He had a big heart, loved his family. Now, this double life is a complete alter ego and not at all how anyone around him saw him.
Wasn't he on the tennis team in high school and shit?
Yeah, I seen that. He was just like an all-around American, regular young man. Nobody, none of his family, friends, nobody ever seen this coming at all.
People know me, man, my friends, my family. I know a lot of people, man, around everywhere. I've never been into watching porn. I just never have. I'm just not that type of dude that want to watch other people have sex. It really freaking gets me that people want to watch nasty shit like infants and adults. I'll never, ever understand it. That's almost like a new kind of a freaking evil. I mean, that's torture.
It is.
It's rape. It's forcible rape. It's sodomy. It's torture. And people, let us know in the comments on Facebook and on the comments of this, what you think about this. And, you know, we're really trying to stray away from this a little bit. We want to get back into some old school, real crime time type stuff. You know what I mean?
Stuff besides what's going on here in Morgan County right now. I mean, like, I am sick of it.
This county does not short us any
craziness and content for us to use. I mean, people hear about this stuff about people. I mean, this is Mooresville. And when I grew up around here, Mooresville was a nice ass place to live. And this isn't a bad neighborhood where we're talking about where this dude's from. We actually have family that live, I mean, as the crows flies, within a mile or two from this dude's house. And Mooresville is not a bad place. Morgan County is not a bad place. There's a lot of good people in this county and, you know, in these small towns. And it's just so sad that this kind of light's getting shined on the place that we live.
I mean, it's bad enough out here. You got this fentanyl, which I can see how fentanyl can be really addictive because you try it and it's not really the high that gets you addictive. And we do have some fentanyl addicts, recovering addicts we're going to interview and talk about that shit too. But we can see how that can be addictive because you get so high and then it lets you down so fast that you literally have to do more fentanyl or you're sicker than fuck.
That's a chemical,
That's a
chemical addiction.
Right.
Well, what kind of addiction of the mind do you have to be addicted to stuff like that?
I mean, it's like these people cannot stop. They start off watching regular porn, like adults having sex, which is everywhere. And I don't mean to sound like a fuddy-duddy, but I think they ought to do more to ban porn. I mean,
it's ruining lives. It's ruining marriages. It's ruining people.
I mean, this Chris Cooley kid, man, he said he tried to get help and he just could not get away from it. And it went from like one hit of crack to smoking an 8-ball. He went from watching adults have sex to watching adults have sex with little bitty tiny babies or
watch
angels.
Adults rape little kids.
No, in my eyes, babies and infants, they're angels. They're so innocent, man. And it fucking infuriates me. Pardon the F-bomb, but it just infuriates me.
And people want to say, oh, he just got caught with some kiddie porn. Well, you know what that kiddie porn consisted of? It had to be made, and these kids had to suffer. These babies had to suffer and go through what they went through to have the shit be made.
And the fact of the matter is, he probably started masturbating, thinking about porn. Then he went to adult porn. Then he went to baby porn. And then he went to forcible, rapeable infant porn. There's no stopping it. It just snowballs and snowballs. What's next? What comes next? He's going to start molesting people. So thank God he was caught. That's how that shit goes. And that's what pisses me off. Yeah, people are saying he was just caught with some nasty shit on his phone. Bullshit. He was watching porn. He couldn't stop, so it went to baby porn. It went to forcible raping baby porn. Next, he was going to fucking molest somebody. Period.
That was the only option.
That was the only thing left. Just like when rapists start raping people, they start going to titty bars, they start watching porn, and then they start raping them and smacking them, and then they start raping them and beating them up, and then they start fucking killing them. That's how it goes. So thank you, Kick from Canada. Thank you, Snapchat. Thank you for the police officers and the detectives that are catching these people before this shit evolves into more, bullshit. Because
actual physical in real life. I mean, it's in real life and it's physical on the videos and the images that this dude is watching. But I mean, he hasn't made it that we know of in real life yet doing that to somebody else.
There is no doubt in my mind well, looking at this probable cause affidavit, I kind of think that he did do something with this victim number one why would she be a victim instead of just be a child pornography picture? You feel me?
Right.
I have no doubt in my mind that the next step, this dude would have been molesting a child, and then it would have went down to, the shit that he's looking at. They're never satisfied. These addictive personalities, they're never satisfied. We need to identify these people, try to get them help, try to head off this shit that's going on. And I'll tell you another thing that pisses me off. I got a DUI one time, and it cost me a couple $1,000s to get out of fucking jail. This dude, here's another news break. This Christopher Cooley is out of jail, right back in Moorseville. So beware of him, because if these little picture galleries that he's looking at isn't satisfying him, he's got to move to the next level. And he's out there, folks. He's out there in Moorseville. So his mugshot is on our Facebook page. Fucking watch out for this dude, man, because unless he gets help, he's going to move to the next step. I'm sorry this gets me so fired up, man. I have so many children and grandchildren, and I just, like I said before, babies are angels of God. Infants are angels. I mean, they're so innocent. The children are. I mean, so,
is this stuff, can you rehabilitate a person that their mind is working like this?
I don't know. I seen some shit the other day. I was looking that up, and I seen this ignorant chick, man, that said that they should make sex baby robots to let these people have sex with. That way, they don't go out and rape other little kids. Now, can you believe this shit? So instead of addressing the
Mental health concern
of the pedophiles, let's just make little kid dolls. That is some people's answers now. I mean, that's like saying, well, we can't get this person to quit stealing, so let's just fucking give them everything they want. Or we can't stop this person from beating on women, so let's just make fake women and let them beat the shit out of them all the time. I mean, that's not the answer. That's not the answer to it. Let's fix the problem. Let's not give them what they want. I mean, I don't know, man. This world's a fucked up place. Yeah. That's about all we got for you guys today. This shit is hard to talk about, and I'm sorry I got a little fired up there because this shit just gets to me. Like I said, this dude's out on the street with, not very much bond money. I mean, anybody could probably come up with this bond money.
$1,000 is what it costs to bond him out of jail.
$1,000.
$1,000.
You think that's going to teach me a lesson? I fucking doubt it.
And I cannot believe somebody bailed him out after he confessed to all this stuff, but they probably don't know that he confessed to this stuff. I'm sure he didn't go home or call on the jail phone and be like, yeah, I confess, come bail me out. No, he was just like, hey, come get me.
But look, like I said earlier, we're gonna take a break from this unless another crazy shit pops off here around close or something real horrible comes on. We're working on some good cases. Netflix just came out with a new
Hulu
just came out with a new Ruby Frankie documentary. We'd like to cover that because there's a lot of stuff that we think is interesting on that they may not have said. And I'm going to go back to doing some like 1960s and 70s crimes, stuff you haven't heard of, stuff that I'm really interested in, and I hope you like it. Go to the page and let us know what you think about those options.
And we are also currently waiting on the PCA for Nicholas Fortenberry.
Oh, he's fighting it hard. He used all Brittany Fortenberry's money to hire him a good lawyer, and they're trying to block the PCA so we can't get it. So I think they're going to higher courts and everything else. Am I correct when I say that?
Yeah, I had to file some paperwork with the courts today to be able to get this PCA. But no, what he did is he left Brittany in there, and he said, nope, I'm not getting you out. And then he took all of her money because she gets a disability from the Navy.
And I'm sure they had a joint account because they were married.
Yeah, they did. He was in charge of all the expenses, allegedly. And allegedly he went and got him a lawyer and bonded himself out of jail and is letting her sit. But you know what? I spoke with a family member. Sorry, I'm getting excited. I spoke with a family member of Brittany's, and you know what she told me?
What'd she tell you?
She told me that whenever Brittany was getting arrested, that I don't know if Nick was there or maybe she called him on the phone, but you know what he said? You're never going to believe this.
What?
He was telling her how to kill herself.
That's fucked up. I'll tell you what, Mr. Fortenberry, we're going to find out what you know. We're going to find out what you did, and we're going to put your ass on blast, too, because you was an EMS, and I believe you were a firefighter in Ellettsville, and people in your position should not be doing shit like that. We hold you to a higher standard to help people, and we're going to come after you as far as putting your ass on blast. So we're going to get it. Don't you trip on that. But you know what? Until then, man, hey, we appreciate everybody who has went and bought our merch. We have some badass T-shirts. They have a microphone and they have wings.
The angel wings.
Angel wings. They got one set for me, one set for Jules, and they are just tight as hell. They're only $25 a piece. We have blood red, we have black, we have pink, all sizes. We'll do custom sizes. We'll do signed ones. And a portion of that goes to helping some kind of a victim's fund. And this isn't just money that we're going to just throw and say this goes to this victim's fund. When we get so much money collected from the shirts that we sell, we are going to put it out on our private group, and we're going to let our private members vote on who needs to get the money that we are donating. Every cent that goes to that will be donated to whoever our listeners vote. But check us out on Facebook, Instagram. You can hear us on
YouTube, Apple,
and our
Spotify,
videos.
iHeart.
Yes, our videos are getting ready to start. I know we've been slacking and lacking, but we're still learning, man. We're still learning. But hey, until then, we hope you have a good evening, a good day.
Whatever.
Whatever.